And I would think if someone didn't like something I was doing on amateur radio, he'd come round and knock on my door and I'd invite him in, we'd have a cup of tea and a chat like responsible adults. Wouldn't be a slanging match, wouldn't be any fighting, sit down and we'd talk about it, you know. There's nobody here. You see, the trouble is you judge everybody like yourself. There is absolutely nobody in this, apart from a couple of G6s and a G4, and I've spoken to them about you and they said, oh yeah, be careful Alex, because it sounds like you're going to blow your linear up any minute, we can hear the fan going. Oh yeah, I know. I've got a proper power supply. Don't have to worry about blowing things up. Anyway, blows up, great. I'm a fully qualified electronics engineer, as you know. Of course you are. That's why you've been out of work for 2 years. Well, you got the sack from a certain shop. There's more nonsense, Michael. I didn't get the sack from any shop. If you're talking about Martin Lynch, that I worked there for a week, I chose to leave. I was only there for a week anyway. There for a week. You get the sack, ask Chris. Don't ask Chris because he'll tell you the truth, which you don't like to. Trouble with you is, Michael, you like the rest of the Chip gang. Same as Scott, same as Robin, same as Duncan, same as UPU, same as EGZ, same as SNT. None of you like the truth. You'll hate it. And that's what you get with me. You get the truth and you don't like it. And that's why you're all up in arms. Because you'll know what you got busted in 1981 by Ofcom for using your taxi radio illegally in your cab. You've been prosecuted. And Larry, you've got done for it. And you've had a string of other convictions. Now you've got no room to comment on here at all. But if you think your address and stuff is on Google, then great, fair enough. If that's what you want to think, then that's Michael. Right, first of all, 1981. Oh, we were not done for having stuff in our cabs. We were done for nonsense. I know what you got done for. I was told by someone who knows all about it. Got no reason to lie to me. Exactly the reasons. That string of convictions, one other in 19... No, there's about 5 actually. Nothing to do with amateur radio. People saw it. Enough people know what the splits go. And I'm sorry if I got the time you were at the shop wrong. I do apologise for that, Alex. No, understand it was 3 days, but there you go. And that was for looking. Oh, there you go. He doesn't know anything, does he? GB3WL and telling everybody that you'd access the. Oh, listen to this. I'll let him shut up and I'll put him straight about a few facts. Yeah, shut up. Right. For a start, I worked there for a week. I never had access to their computer system in any way at all. Yeah. And it was actually Scott's best buddy, the ferret, who was making allegations that I'd accessed the computer system. But if any of you bozos, not that you'll ever do this, because you're scared of the truth, ask Chris, ask Martin, ask anyone, and they'll tell you, no, Alex didn't look at any information you shouldn't have looked at. Simple as that. And I worked there for 5 days. There you go. Now you know the truth, Michael. Perhaps you'll shut up. Do ask people. I will check. Well, don't ask people, ask the person concerned. Go and ask Chris, 0WTZ, or go and ask Martin Lynch. Don't ask anyone else. They're the only people you need to worry about. Of course, no, you'll go and ask Robin, or you'll go and ask someone who doesn't know the truth. I'll go to the horse's mouth. We'll do that. So what qualifications do you have then, Alex? You got a City and Guilds, have you? I've got City and Guilds 224, yeah. I've got diploma in that. I've got an MVQ level 3, electronic manufacturing processing. I've got a Technational diploma in microelectronics and programming, and I was working on an HNC. Good, very commendable, Alex. You should go and get yourself a decent job then. I've got one. It's nice to hear. Nice to hear. Did HND many years ago. And, all this about driving the cabs, I don't know where you're getting your information from, but Uxbridge Magistrates Court will have it all on record. You can there and check. Me and Larry did get prosecuted by the DTI, as it was, but not for using stuff in the cabs, because they actually are approved. The carriage office have approved them. Our amateurs who have been there and actually had that done. We were prosecuted for not using call signs at the correct time, and that's a matter of public record from G3ZCC. Yeah, but with all due respect, Michael, that's why LW was switched off recently, for that very reason, that people like yourself, and you were one of the people that I had mentioned to me, and this is before I even knew about your past, they turned LW off because you guys weren't using call signs again, G7ERX. Slapped? I hear that. We will give our call signs, and we'll make sure everybody else does. It has to be tightened up, quite right. There you go. Now, when are you going to come and meet me? I think you need to meet me, because I'm sure once you have met me, you can come on the radio and slate me off. But until you have, I think you're being unfair. Well, I've been up in Amersham a couple of times. No doubt I will in the future. Maybe I'll give you a call on the output and come and look you up, eh? Come on, mate. I've got no problems meeting anyone on here. I really haven't. I've met a lot of people know me. I'm not an unsociable person. I'll meet you face to face, whatever. It's not a problem. I've got no bones meeting anyone. Even people that want to come and put one on me, I'll meet them. I don't care. Big enough and bad enough not to worry. So but do come and meet me, because someone said to me the other day, they said the trouble with you and ZCC is you're two alike. It's like you were split at birth. You're both same type of person. I said, you what?
And they said, yeah, and this person's known you for a number of years, Michael. I reckon that we're very similar. There you go, I don't know what to make of that.
It's a bizarre. You're a lot younger than me, Alex. Sound a bit longer, been around the block. I don't like being accused of things. I've done things in the past, we all have. And if I've done it, I've always put my hands up and said, that's it, that's me, sorry. Way to be, admit it when you've done it wrong, but I don't like to be accused of jamming when I haven't done it.
Well, maybe now you know how it feels when you accuse me of jamming. I haven't done it. You know, you accused me of jamming LW for 2 years, I haven't done it. Wasn't me doing it. I couldn't, from Watford, I couldn't even get into the Amersham repeaters up the road, let alone LW in the centre of London. I mean, simple facts are, Michael, believe it or whether you do it or not, it wasn't me, simple as that. A lot of other people that caused trouble on that repeater. I was on HR pretty much all the time, Hotel Romeo on 77, which was literally next to where I lived, or pretty much I could see it out the window, as I can now here. You go, I mean, at the end of the day, I've been caught jamming a couple of times by someone who lives near you, and there is an M3. If I ever meet you, I will tell you who he is. I think it's fair to do it over the radio. And I'll ask him first. I'm sure he's got no bones about you knowing where he lives, or who he is. I don't even know where he lives, but who he is. And he will then, you know, so it's a mutual thing. So if you stop accusing me, I'll stop accusing you. But until such time as you do, you know, one of us has got to give in somewhere. It's just a nonsense situation. But the more you listen to like Sir Robin, that's had a grudge against me for the last 20 years, people like Scott, who's just a nasty little piece of work, Duncan, who's like a sheep, he just gets easily led by them both, you'll just end up like they are, really. And who do they talk to other than themselves? Nobody. They're little gang members, they don't talk to anyone outside of that. Last 2 years, and for your information, I've lived in Amersham for over a year. Okay, I've lived in Amersham for 14 months, not just moved here. Amersham was the town I was born in. Also lived here for 27 years before moving to Little Chalfont, 4 years. I then moved to Watford for 18. I was actually only at Watford for 18 months, so there you go. This is, you know, my hometown, Amersham, and all my family live in Amersham or Chesham. My uncle lives literally in the next road to me. Cousins live in Amersham, back at Tesco's. So, you know, I've got all my friends, all my family, everybody that I know lives in this area. And, you know, at the end of the day, this is where I come from.
Well, if you won't tell me who this M3 is, fine. I think what you should do then is to get him to come up on the air and make the accusations himself. Because with all due respect, he knows that you're telling the truth. But if you are, let's have him up on the air. I'm not going to DF him, I'm going to be sat here, radio, and we'll listen to him. But let's have him up on the air then, Alex? And let's have him accuse me over the air. Because at the moment, it's all in the third person, and that's not acceptable. Everybody would agree with that. It's not acceptable. If you're going to accuse... you know, say, I'm sitting outside your house, you're jamming. Fair enough. That's great. It's proof. To say you're a jammer because an M3 station that I'm not going to tell you who he is has told me, well, that's nonsense. I'm up on the box. You don't have to tell me who he is. That's enough if you want to keep the confidence. I can understand that. Let's have him up on the air. Let's have him tell everybody on the box that he's been round here and caught me jamming. Then it's all fine. From G3ZTC.
He may decide to do that, I don't know, but currently he doesn't really want to get embroiled in the hassles. He came on the radio to enjoy the radio, not to be embroiled in loads of arguments and generate the hobby that, you know, to be fair, yourself and the chimp gang are just constantly doing at the moment. They're degrading enjoyment of the hobby for all stations, and they really are bringing amateur radio into disrepute. This station doesn't want to come up and get involved in a slanging match, you, Michael. At the end of the day, if he's standing here right now and said, yes, it was you know, how do you prove it? It's all about proof. You can't prove it. No way of proving it. He's not interested in the slightest about having a ruck with you or anything. He just went out one night, completely open-minded, to find where the station was coming from that was jamming AL, and he DF'd it to Rogers Close. Now, it could have been any road, anywhere, you know, but it happened to be that road, and then over the next few weeks, or couple of weeks, as the jamming came up, it's out and DF'd it to that address. So that's all I can tell you. I will tell you the station's sign. If I ever meet you personally, I will tell you. I've got no bones about that at all, but I'm certainly not going to tell you over here. And if he wants to come, I mean, I can't tell someone else what to do at the end of the day. You know, it's really not for me to do so. But all your accusations, everything that comes from the chimp gang is, as you say, all in the third person, and it means nothing. Doesn't mean anything to me. That's why it's all completely water off a duck's back. The only two things that matter to me are sticking to the licence conditions and Ofcom. Anyone else is an utter irrelevance.
Absolutely. But you see, the only true way to DF someone, if you do it with a Doppler, you do it properly, you get to the road, you can either go up on the third harmonic, and then it's not proof. You have to stand up outside the property, strength meter. That's your evidence. That's good enough. That's what Ofcom would do. That's all you had to do, you know. In actual fact, I listened to the tape that we did that conversation night. You clearly said that on that night this M3 was looking for me, but I'd gone off the air before they got here. But what's all this